And here's the final energy resource in the series, chain reaction on nuclear power as part of the UK's energy mix. Nuclear energy is highly significant in the UK, accounting for 17.3% of the UK's electricity generation in 2019, which is down from 19.6% in 2018. Nuclear energy is not strictly speaking renewable, but does not emit carbon dioxide to generate electricity, which makes it a good alternative to fossil fuels. In 1956, the first nuclear power station was opened in the UK at Calder Hall, aka Sellafield, in the Cold War era, and nuclear power peaked in the mid-1990s and steadily declined since. So what is nuclear energy? It comes from the fission or splitting of the nuclei of radioactive elements such as uranium-235, which is present in the nuclear fuel rods. The diagram shows what happens inside a fuel rod at atomic level. 1. A nuclear particle called a neutron hits the nucleus of a large atom. Therein 2, it is split and creates 2 new smaller atoms and releases a large amount of heat energy, as you can see in 3. Spare neutrons from this reaction repeat the process over and over again in the chain reaction, as you can see in 4 and 5. And there's a link if you'd like to know more. Here is an example of a nuclear reactor. Heat energy from the nuclear reaction is used in a similar way as heat from burning of oil and coal in a conventional power station. This boils the water and produces steam, then drives a turbine to generate electricity. The reaction is carefully controlled and there are many built-in safety measures and procedures to ensure this happens safely. Control rods and graphite moderators and cooling systems keep the reaction stable. Multiple layers of shielding protect workers and the environment from radiation, and safe working procedures must be followed. Here are some of the advantages of nuclear power. The thermal efficiency, or the amount of heat energy converted to electricity of a nuclear power station, is between 36.5 and 40%, which is similar to fossil fuel power stations. Nuclear fuel rods last 18 to 36 months, whereas fossil fuels need daily or weekly replenishing, so a big difference there. Nuclear material and weapons can be recycled and used in fuel rods, using it for peaceful purposes. The nuclear reaction itself does not release carbon dioxide, particulates and other pollutants unless something goes horribly wrong. It's a constant and reliable energy source and is not weather dependent, and the running costs are relatively low. Here are some of the disadvantages of nuclear power. The big one is safety. It's fine until something goes wrong, but incidents and accidents can be catastrophic, such as Chernobyl in 1986 and Fukushima in 2011, and we're still experiencing effects even now. It's controversial because who wants to live near a nuclear reactor? Nuclear waste disposal is costly and dangerous, and radioactivity is long-lasting. And then there's the risk of cancer from long-term exposure. Mining and extraction causes damage to the environment. Construction costs are high and costs are rising generally. Most of the UK power stations are old and they're due to close by 2030. And then there's the expertise level required for operation. So is nuclear still viable as a major part of the UK's energy mix? Possibly, but do the risks of accidents outweigh the benefits, no matter how good the safety measures are? If the fossil fuel power stations are all shut down, will renewables be able to supply the UK with all the energy it needs? Carbon dioxide emissions are not the only consideration. The potential ecological and human harm of radioactive incidents is far more serious. Brand new power stations still need to be built and permission can be difficult to obtain. And it's a reliable source of energy, so we can't ignore it. And what are your thoughts on this? And here are my references.